You are listening to the Certified Personal Trainer Podcast, a show by personal trainers for personal trainers. It's time to become a better trainer, get more clients, and change more lives. And now, here's your host, the head coach and founder of Fitness Mentors, Eddie Lester.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Eddie Lester, your host of the Certified Personal Trainer Podcast. We are on to episode number 49, and I'm very excited to be joined by Joe Fagan from Insure Fitness Group. He is a personal training insurance expert, and I know so many of you out there wonder, what exactly personal training insurance is, what it's about, what it covers, and how important it is. So Joe, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Eddie. I appreciate you giving me a platform to speak my lovely insurance speak here. Really appreciate the partnership and appreciate the opportunity to hopefully educate some folks on the insurance needs.
Love it. Yeah. So we Fitness Mentors have really tried to cover pretty much all aspects of the personal training field and really fitness field, and are really expanding into just helping people with general overall health. And we'd really love to know all about, from an expert like yourself, exactly, what kind of you see on your side, and what really personal training insurance truly is for, what it's about. So why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about you and your process in getting here, and we'll kind of go from there.
Sure. No, that sounds great. I don't mind. I'll give you a little 30-second history kind of our company and how we got to this point in building this program. And then certainly I can kind of tell you a little bit about what a fitness professional, personal trainer, and/or group fitness professional should be looking for when they're looking for liability insurance. So for us, and I'll do a real brief overview here. So we've been in the health and wellness space for a little over 30 years. We actually own two publications. We own Massage Magazine and Chiropractic Economics Magazine. And over time, what we found was a very underserved market offering liability insurance directly to the independent professional. We started by building a program in the massage space because we were very dialed into the massage space because we own the magazine. And our success in that space afforded us the ability to build programs in a few others, in the yoga space, in the beauty space, and of course, in the personal training and fitness space. And really what fueled our success was a couple of things. One of them being the technology that we created. Years ago, if you wanted to buy liability insurance, you'd go to a local agent, you'd fill out a lengthy paper application. He would spend a couple of weeks getting it underwritten, charge you several $100s, and that was it. That was the process. And we built a technology that really mirrors almost going to Amazon and buying a widget. It literally takes less than 3.5 minutes. You're covered with millions of dollars worth of coverage. It costs less than $200, and you actually don't even have to talk to a human. So it's super simple. It's very, very easy for folks to do, and they can be covered immediately. So that's really a big piece of our success. But the other piece is really our focus on forming partnerships. So companies like Fitness Mentors, who we're lucky enough to be able to align with, and finding ways that we can help each other, has really been a big piece of our success. So again, to appreciate the platform and appreciate the partnership.
Awesome. Yeah. So kind of getting to what. So basically, we know that since COVID, so much of the industry has shifted. So much has really moved to the virtual space. Talk to me about we'll say, nuances between in-person personal training and how that insurance works. Have you guys made the shift to cover more of the online space? Talk to me about this last year and how it's kind of impacted your ability to assist trainers online and in person.
Absolutely. And appreciate you asking the question. Certainly, we've all gone through a lot of changes in the last year. And, we were very fortunate to kind of be ahead of the game a little bit and then very quickly react to what was going on. And I'll tell you what I mean. So we always have covered live face-to-face interaction. So if you're, a personal trainer working with a trainee, we've always covered live online training. So if a personal trainer did an online live program, that was always covered. We did not, prior to the pandemic, cover pre-recorded videos. And if I'm being totally candid, I didn't believe that was going to be an easy thing for us to add coverage to. Live online, you have the opportunity to mitigate the risk, right? You tell them, oh, get that rope away from your neck, or take that, knife out of your eye, or whatever it might be.
I'm assuming those are some of the things that you cover. I'm joking.
You'd be surprised at the claims that come in, but we do not cover those
Okay,
specific.
yeah, I'm joking. Yeah, I'm just totally joking. Yeah, yeah.
Serrated night
You went to
yoga
the
is-
eccentric. You went to the eccentric on the scenarios. That's funny though.
Yeah, but my whole point is that, on the pre-recorded videos, you don't have the opportunity to mitigate that risk. So anyway, I thought it was going to be a lot more challenging than it was. And luckily, our underwriters were kind enough not only to allow us to extend our coverage to include pre-recorded videos, they did it without restrictions, meaning that we don't have to have some type of private link or a certain server you have to or a certain software you have to work through like most other programs do. And then secondly, there's been no additional cost. And it doesn't appear that that's going away anytime post-pandemic. We thought maybe eventually there was going to be an upcharge for pre-recorded videos. And candidly, there could be sometime in the future. But as it stands right now, pre-recorded coverage is a part of our program, and it's staying, and which has been a really nice thing for us. So, as we've seen all these fitness professionals over the course of the pandemic pivot their business and find ways to, either offset or grow revenue by doing these programs online, we're excited that we have a coverage that's suitable for them. And there are a few coverages out there. So I think it's always important to ask, if you're buying insurance, ask if they cover pre-recorded videos and live online training.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. And that's something that's so important as this industry shifts. And we've been really assisting a ton of trainers when we think about the ability to make the shift online. In the first 6 to 12 months of the pandemic, we had so many gyms that were completely shut down, and really trainers had to make this massive shift either to live video or to we'll say structuring other types of businesses online. And with our certified online personal trainer course, we've been able to help trainers choose one of the hundreds of options that you can utilize to train trainers online or train clients online. And we were really excited to partner with you guys because we saw the ability to cover the online space as very pivotal. And because a lot of trainers, to be honest, are solely focused online, or 80 to 90% of their business is now online. So that's so awesome that you do offer that. Talk to me a little bit about Insure Fitness as it relates to other types of insurance out there for personal trainers. What kind of sets you guys apart, and what really do you feel is the driving force behind your success?
Sure. Well, thank you for asking. No, that's great. And we really, we know the space we're in. We understand, what the product that we offer, and of course, it's insurance. And the reason I say it like that is because, there's this mindset about insurance. People are understandably scared that insurance may not be there when they need it. And I like to say this stuff because I like to bring these things to the surface because it's important. Number one, buying insurance is one of those weird things because you're buying a product you hope you never use. And candidly, most people will never use it, and that's a good thing. Of course. Yeah. And then there's always this, this idea in the back of people's mind that when I really do need it, now I'm going to have to fight with the insurance company for the claim. Mm-hmm. So we knew that going into this business, and we wanted to do everything we could to offset that fear. So we built our program with the strongest, most comprehensive coverage we could find in the marketplace. And one component, and this is probably the deepest insurance speak I'll get, but one thing that sets us apart from some of the other programs around is that our program is an occurrence form policy versus the other kind, which is a claims made policy. And I'll do my best to very quickly explain what those two things are in the best layman's terms I can. So occurrence form. So for both professional and general liability, it's important to evaluate what type of policy your provider has in the event that a claim's made. So an occurrence form policy, which is what we recommend, and of course that's the kind that we have. So this type of policy covers you for any claim filed during your policy period and after the policy expires, as long as the event took place while the policy was active. Okay. So for example, if you're insured, let's say from January 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2021, and an incident occurs in October of 2021, but that claim isn't filed until March of 2022, an occurrence form policy still covers you even though your insurance is expired when the claim was filed. A claims made policy, which by the way, it costs companies less to sell this. It's a lower cost policy. So companies want to increase their margins. They have the option of creating a claims made policy. We elected not to increase our margins. We wanted the stronger coverage, but a claims made policy must be active when the claim is reported in order to trigger coverage. Any claim filed after a claims made policy period expired will not be covered. And let me just briefly tell you why that's important. In 2017, we did an audit of our business in 2017. 21% of the claims filed were after the policy period expired. 36% of the money we paid out in 2017 would not have been paid by a claims made policy. Wow. And the reason I bring that up is that most people just don't know the difference. They don't even know that they're buying a claims made or buying an occurrence form, and they literally could be at risk, not even realizing it. So I think that's one of the important pieces. Ask if your occurrence form or claims made. That's such a big, important component. So apologies again to dive into insurance speak there, but it's one of those important pieces I always like to mention.
Well, and that does make a lot of sense, because a lot of times when you think about an injury that might occur, you don't really know immediately what the long-lasting effects of that injury might be. And when somebody realizes 3 or 4 months down the road that this is actually something that could impact them for, years of their life, that's when they start to get serious about taking any legal action. And it sounds extremely important, because you want to make sure that you're covered for not only, while you're in your policy period, but also from, we'll say, things that might have happened, or the claims that, like you said, might be, we'll say, executed beyond that date. So that's a really unique point that I've actually never even realized relating to personal training insurance.
Yeah, and most people don't. And you're right. I mean, everybody's eventually going to have a lapse in policy, right? Because you're not in business forever, so there's going to be a time where you have to let your policy lapse. Maybe it's 20 years down the road, but either way, there's always that fear that after that happens, a claim could come in. So I feel it's so important for folks to enroll in a occurrence form versus claims made policy.
That's awesome. And I guess just for fun, because I know a lot of personal trainers out there, when kind of looking for personal training insurance, it's kind of like, well, do I really need to have insurance? Like what's like, obviously there's risk of not having it, but do I really need it? Why don't you tell us, I guess I'll have a few questions here, but just for fun, what is the most common claim that you see made within your industry, within your business?
Interestingly enough, and I love that you asked this question. I like the answer to this. And I'm just going to back up real quick and just talk about 2 components of our coverage. One is professional liability and one is general liability. So professional liability is what's the malpractice insurance. So if you're giving instruction, and through that instruction, the person gets injured based on either your negligence or bad instruction, and they have the opportunity to sue you, that's when professional liability would kick in. Okay. General liability is the other one that kind of more comprehensive, that covers everything else. And it's what people call the slip and fall insurance. Yeah, so if there's water on the floor, they slip and fall, have that freak accident. And a claim is filed. Interestingly enough, we get a lot more claims for general liability than we do professional liability. Mm-hmm. And I find comfort in that for a couple of reasons. The biggest being our professionals that we're covering aren't hurting people. They're doing a great job, in a general sense. They're not badly, they're not poorly trained, they're not hurting people, but it's really, really difficult to foresee that freak accident, that water on the floor, the leak from the ceiling, whatever it may be that can cause an accident. So and it goes back to, does a personal trainer need insurance? And again, I don't mind being palms up and saying this, 90 to 99% of the people will never use it, but every day it's that 1% that we see that have a claim that comes in that could be career ending, life altering. Yeah. And so, I sleep well at night knowing that our policy has been there for people who could have completely lost their career or, gone bankrupt or whatever it might be. So, we're helping that 1%. It's a small percentage, but it's so important, because those claims can be so large.
Yeah, and that's really awesome, because a lot of the work that we do is to prepare trainers to be the best that they can be, and really, provide safe and effective ways for people to become healthy. And that's big picture wise, we always look to help trainers help more people, and that really exponential effect of making the world a healthier place is so important to us. But when you think about it, like you said, most of it comes from general liability. That means that trainers are doing a great job. I love that you said that, because that's a stat that really pumps me up. Educating trainers and knowing that they're taking our education and implementing it effectively to help people. So that is awesome. So now the question: what is the most common claim? Is there something that hits your mind on that?
Oh, God. Well, I guess where I was going with that is that we typically get more general liability than professional liability. And I'll be honest, beyond that, I don't really have the data. I think I know at one point the most common claim that we had gotten over time, now this was early on, was the massage table breaking and the person falling off of the massage table.
So like a stretch table or some piece of fitness equipment breaking. That's not necessarily the trainer's fault. It might actually lead to injury from faulty equipment, not necessarily the trainer doing something wrong. Okay, I see.
Correct. And I'm a couple of steps removed from the claims process. We have a whole agency team that really handles all of that. And of course, Arch is our underwriter, and they're the ones that handle the claims. But so I'm not looking and touching them all day long, but I love the question, and it's going to make me go back to our claims team and ask what our most common claims are. I'd love to get that intelligence as well. I do know it's more professional, or it's more the general than professional, but as far as the details, I just don't know.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, yeah. So I wanted to talk finally about kind of what you guys have done for students, because I know this is actually the first time I've heard of this type of insurance offering. And that's one of the things that really intrigued us about having our students go through you for insurance. Tell us about the student process. We have a ton of people that are looking to get certified or are currently studying. Tell us about the what you guys have created for students looking for personal training insurance as they ramp up their careers.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate you bringing that up, because I think it's such an important piece of what we do. And I don't believe any other companies really approach the, insuring students the way we do. And I'll tell you, I'm just going to quickly tell you what we do, and then I'm going to take a step backwards and tell you kind of why we do it, if that works for you. So, so just for clarity, we offer our student program for $59 for anybody who's still in school, and it effectively works as their first year of insurance. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. And by the way, and I know Eddie's probably I know you're going to mention this towards the end, but we have a unique arrangement with Fitness Mentors that program is actually, there's a $10 discount. So it's only $49 if you come through Fitness Mentors. But anyway, we initially built student coverage because we learned that students potentially needed insurance while they were still in school. So, if they were doing internships, externships, or whatever it might be, there's some risk to that. So we wanted to get a program built that would cover the students while in school. What we found, though, after we got this program built, after our underwriter said yes, was that students really only needed that insurance for maybe the last month or two while they were in school, because that's when they were actually going out doing some internships or externships or whatever it might be. And again, this wasn't just in fitness. We tested this in the other markets too, massage and such. So anyway, as a result of that, we went back to our underwriters and we asked them if, because a student only needs our insurance for the last couple of months, they're not getting enough value out of this. They're buying into it. They're only using it for a couple of months. And then as soon as they graduate, they now have to enroll in a professional policy. So we asked them if we could change that. If somebody bought a program for $59, the student program, could it last a full year, even extend after they graduate? And our underwriter said yes. We have great underwriters, by the way. That's awesome. And so effectively what that means now is students can buy our program at any time during their student journey while they're still in school, and it will last a full year, even after they graduate and convert into their full professional policy. So it's really a great way to knock off one of the most important pieces to transition from a student to a career, because you're now covered with your insurance, and you can, a lot of studios, gyms, and what have you are going to require you carry liability insurance. So we find, the message we try to give to the community is make sure you enroll while you're still being certified, and that gives you the eligibility to get your first year at that heavy reduced rate. Normally $59, but of course for Fitness Mentor customers, they can get it for $49.
Awesome. And I think that's super important, because for all the trainers that are studying out there or getting kind of started, we here at Fitness Mentors always recommend getting hands-on with training as quickly as possible, whether that be yourself or even, family and friends, taking them through a quick workout routine, and something like what you guys are offering really allows the trainer to feel comfortable in the sense of, even though they aren't certified yet, they can still, do a little bit of hands-on work to work with people before they're certified and still have that coverage that really, and then also extend that through the whole, first X amount of time that they have with their certification. So I think that's a great idea, especially for a lot of those students that are just kind of getting started. So talk to me about what happens after that introductory period. Where do they go to next once their student policy is done?
Well, then, so after your student policy lapses, which is after the first full year, then they'll get a series of renewal notices from us, and at that point you just have to upgrade to the normal professional rate. The student rate can only be purchased one time, even if you're in school for 2 years. Our underwriters they said yes to some stuff, but they can't say yes to everything, right? So yes to the 1 year, but at that point you would upgrade to the professional, which is a retail rate of $179 to the customer facing marketplace.
Awesome. Yeah, actually, we through our partnership, we're able to offer that for $169 as well, which is great. And we always want to do as many great things as we can to help our students succeed and things like that. So Joe, kind of wrapping this up, is there anything else that you want our students and everyone listening to this podcast to know about personal training insurance?
I do, and something kind of specific to ours. So one of the things that happened with us, again, just I know we keep going back to these pandemic stories, but right before the pandemic, we were purchased by Arthur J. Gallagher, who is the world's fourth largest global insurance broker. And by the way, thank goodness we got acquired by a major company right before a pandemic. I don't know how we got that lucky, but we did, and it's been nothing but great for us. Specifically, they have added a tremendous amount of value into our program. They've supplied us a suite of member benefits that would have taken us years to negotiate, things like discounts for Office Depot and Lenovo and all of these great things. So if you enroll in our program, you gain access to all these discounts in addition to the great discounts that we negotiate with companies that sell products to fitness professionals. So there's all kinds of discounts within that member portal. But even more importantly, they took our economic scale, and Gallagher was able to build us out programs that give our customers access to group rates on dental insurance and vision insurance, and a concierge service that can help them find the lowest cost health insurance options through the ACA, and telemedicine access. And the reason I say this is a lot of folks that are coming into the industry or are already in the industry sometimes have a hard time finding access to these discounted insurances because they don't work for a major employer. But our company, because we were acquired by Gallagher, was able to build programs like that. So our program, in a lot of ways, acts almost fully as a business in a box, inclusive of all of the liability insurance that they would need as a professional, access to the employee benefits that they would need if they worked for a major corporation, all the insurances, and then, of course, discounts, marketing tools, resources. We go to great lengths. Again, people are buying a product they hope they never use. So we go to great lengths to build in value that they will use, so that, that they can use throughout the year.
Yeah. And I think that's so important because, as a private personal trainer, which I was and am still just for fun, and then working in a big box gym, I pretty much did not have access to medical insurance until I was full-time in training at my first gym job. And that's very, very common in the industry is you don't get access to the company medical insurance until you're training upwards of 20 to 25 hours, 30 hours a week. And that's a big goal to hit that you might take, 3, 4, 5, 6 months to ramp up to that. So you guys offering the ability to access discounted medical insurance, just like they would through their employer is a huge benefit, I feel, for sure.
We've received wonderful feedback, and our customers have been very, very happy, and it's really been great for us. Again, just another wonderful thing that happened to us during the pandemic, but very excited that we were able to serve the market to fulfill those needs.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, Joe, thanks so much for coming on the podcast. I'm sure everyone learned a ton about insurance in the sense of, really understanding the need and why it's so important. And I find it so unique that most of things come under the general sense because, as a personal trainer, it's like, I'm not going to hurt anyone. I'm not going to hurt anyone. And it turns out for the most part, personal trainers don't hurt people that often, which is great to know. But the potential for the accidental stuff of equipment or wet floors, whatever it may be, does come with a risk. And I'm really excited to learn those sort of items. And I'm going to put a special link in the bottom of this podcast in the show notes. That's going to be the location which all of you that are studying, that are getting started as a personal trainer, that aren't certified yet, you have access to this student rate for $49. It's at it's at insurefitness.com/fitness-mentors-pro. I'm going to throw that link in the show notes at the bottom. Did I get that link correct, Joe?
Yeah, I think so. insurefitness.com/fitness-mentors-pro. Yes, you got it.
Yes. Awesome. Perfect. Aside from that, Joe, thanks so much for coming on. Excited to have you. And we will see everyone next week on the Certified Personal Trainer podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys.
Thanks so much, Eddie. Have a great day, sir.
As always, thanks for listening to the Certified Personal Trainer podcast. You can learn more about fitness mentors at fitnessmentors.com. Be sure to share this podcast on social media. And remember, we are here to help you succeed.